Hello everyone, welcome to Cookies Enabled. Today we are going to be talking about a lot of really interesting topics, and as you'll notice it's a little different today. We don't have Andrew next to me over here on the left, and a few things have changed, mainly because I had a little bit of an audio glitch with this live stream, and the first about 20 minutes of this episode nobody could hear a word I was saying. Now I did fix it about 20 minutes in, and I was already about halfway through the topics, so instead of starting right with the science and space stuff, I'm diving right into tech stuff, which is why in a minute here I'll transition over to the actual live broadcast for you. This is actually filmed after the fact, and I'm doing some post-editing magic to make this video a little more appealing. So please pardon my mess up there, everybody. I should have checked my microphone to make sure it was active in the software before I went live. So mistakes do happen. I am human. I love you all. Enjoy the show, and definitely like, subscribe, share, and let us know what you think in the comments about any of the topics that we talked about today, and check out our sources as well. I appreciate you all. Enjoy the show. You guys should be able to hear me now, hopefully. Again, sorry you just had to look at me talk for a while and not be able to hear me at all, but hopefully you can hear me now. Awesome. So this is a Game Boy Advanced playing PlayStation 1 games. And you can learn how to do all of this in the comments below here. And the comments below will explain how to take a Raspberry Pi, which is this guy, and which is a tiny little computer compressed onto this little microboard that literally is about the size of one of those Game Boy Advance cartridges. Now this actually hangs on the back side of the console, and that will allow you to play this game. So this will actually be running all of your games for you, and you can load this thing right up with all kinds of fun stuff, and that will allow you to play these amazing games. Really cool. I absolutely think this is one of the coolest ways to repurpose old technology. These old game systems all back here, all of them still work, including the PlayStation 1. The Dell Tower is bootable. So hopefully, that's a better setup. Then I think this is a way better idea than me trying to get like my Game Boy Pocket or something, which doesn't even have color, try to play. Now this thing actually has, I think this is the Game Boy Advanced SP or something, because it has a backlit screen on it, and I don't remember the original Game Boy Advanced having backlit. I think that was the SP edition. So he may have an upgraded version of the Game Boy Advanced. But anyway, long story short, check my source links below after the show, and I will have all that stuff posted for you guys. And we're moving on to the next topic. The next one here, I've talked about this one in the past actually, which is the ROG ASUS Phone 5. Now this one is actually the 5S and the 5S Pro that you're seeing right here on the screen, and these are actually going to be available in the United States. You could get the other ones like on Amazon or through your phone provider, but it costed a ton of money. We're talking over $1,000. Yeah, I know there's no audio from the beginning, everybody. I'm really sorry about that. I might actually try to go back and recover some of those topics just in a few minutes here, just because, yeah, that's just no fun. So really sorry about that. I'll have to edit that up, fix all that for you guys post edit here, but that's what happens on live shows, unfortunately. But anyway, ROG Phone. So this guy, I've talked before about this in the past. This is the one that has the clip-on cooler. It's like a gaming phone. They crammed 2 batteries into this thing. It is impressively powerful. We're talking 6,000 milliamps here, which is quite a few. I mean, mine's got, I think, 45 or just under 5,000 milliamps, so it's a little smaller, and it's one full battery. This one's actually 2, as you can see, split up, and the processor slash heat sink is kind of right in between, so it's going to pull all that heat away and get it right into that cooler, which is actually probably one of the coolest parts of this thing, is that it has this weird kind of cooler clip-on thing you can get that will actually pull air through the back of the phone and kind of cool it down. So they have this little video here that kind of shows, again, it's everything you've always had before. This thing's amped up a little bit more than its original model, which was already pretty impressive with 12 gigs of RAM. This can get up to 18 gigs of RAM crammed into it, as well as up to 512 gigabytes of storage. So you can't do a whole terabit in here, at least not in this particular US model, you can't. But it also has a 144 hertz screen, a 64 megahertz camera, or a 64 megapixel camera, I'm sorry guys. An advanced cooler system, obviously, as you saw, 3 gigahertz 888 Snapdragon processor, which is actually the Ultra Edition, which is actually only in this phone, and ASUS got a specific model to make just for this phone. So it is unfortunately extremely expensive. The lower end model, just the 5S base model for the United States, runs $1,099, I think, with Verizon. And the Pro, I think, was $1,299 and up, because you could, again, up it from 12 gigs of RAM to 18, and there was a few other options in there, memory-wise as well. There weren't any other camera options or anything like that, but this is probably one of the most impressive gaming phones I think I have ever seen, and that's right up there with what I currently have, which is an S21 Ultra from Samsung. So it's one of their biggest competitors. They hit this one straight out of the park. I think they did a great job. Aced it, everybody. I would say definitely, if you're interested in getting a phone upgrade and you don't want Samsung and you don't want Apple, take a look at if you can get this new ASUS gaming phone, because you might actually really like it. So, okay. So we usually do these memes every week, and Andrew sent one in here. Oh, shoot. I think I got to download that still. So I'll do that really quick while I'm chatting. I'll put the first one up here in just a second. Let me see if I can load this up. Let's see. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, here's the first one. So I found this one. It says, couldn't sleep last night. Kept thinking about how the Green Ranger has a dagger that was a flute that sounded like a synthesizer that's trying to sound like a trumpet. And he blew it with his helmet on. Now, if any of you have ever watched Power Rangers, the original series back in the day, that is exactly what he would do. He'd like whip it out and go, but instead of it sounding like a flute, it sounded like a bunch of trumpets sounding way off in the distance, but they had this weird electronic kind of pulsation to it almost. And it was really hilarious because, you know, they have like these little fake mouths on their helmet, but they're not moving. Obviously, it's just a fake mouth. So what does it really matter that he even puts it up to his face at that point? That's really the trick there. We loved that. It was so funny. Yeah, I definitely thought that one was a keeper. So now here's one that Andrew found, and I loved. This one is kind of making fun of an old Star Wars clip, as well as making fun of Microsoft. Rightfully so, because right before this show I had a bunch of updates to do on my computer. So that's exactly what we're making fun of here, everybody. It says, in the first sequence, it says, hurry R2, we're dying in here. And the walls are getting crushed. I think this is Return of the I always screw this up. I'm sorry. This is where I need Andrew again. Sorry, everybody. But anyway, so you get, R2's like do, which is like, hang on, I'm almost. And it says, I need a reboot, and it gives the little circle, and we're all screwed. Yeah, because that's pretty much how it goes. I actually was just flying through a bunch of updates, and then it needed me to restart, which I was gonna do anyway, and it's always a good idea. But wow. So thank you, Andrew. I loved that one. That was really funny. I have one other one here for you guys here. Now this one is how time passes in Michigan. In Michigan, time passes much differently than the rest of the world. And I don't know if it's maybe like this in other cold places, but it seems like January and February never freaking end. It seems like literally half the year is crammed into those days. And then December and March are a lot shorter than the January, February, but they're not so bad. As you can see, it gets smaller. You go all the way to August, June, and July, and they're just these tiny little slivers. And that is legitimate. That is legit how it feels here in Michigan, unfortunately. It's just a never-ending cold spell that you get a little bit of a hot spring right in the center, and that's your summer. Sorry, I already showed that one. Here was another one that I found this week as well. It says, in the 1990s, these graphics can't get any more realistic. And the graphics of Stone Cold, 6'2", 252 pounds, and he is completely blocky. It doesn't look anything like Stone Cold, which some of you guys might not even know who that is. So definitely take a look. Check my resources below. Anyway, I do have one more topic here before I circle back to the beginning and cover some space news again. But I have the flesh-eating bees. These guys, wow, what a weird topic. I was just scrolling through my news and I found this in the health section, which is a weird also place to find this. But it's kind of a weird way to look at how animals are kind of evolving due to either threats to their local environment. Maybe there's too many species in one area, or maybe they just don't have the right nutrients around to get what they need, so they're evolving or changing to meet the needs that they have. So in this case, we have a bunch of bees. Now, these bees actually don't have stingers, but they still do have little pollen pockets on their legs. And instead of stuffing pollen into those pockets, they are stuffing raw chicken meat into their little pockets. Now, these were discovered not recently, but back in 1987. I'm sorry, it's in my resources below. I did read it. I swear, it's just a lot of information to process today. Now, these little guys may seem really scary because, oh my goodness, they're flesh eating pretty much, but they have shown no aggression to humans or really any mammal species unless they are dead. And then they kind of seem to love them. But again, it's more of a habitat thing. And they're not found anywhere in the United States. As you can tell by the graph here, they are all the way down in the kind of Mexico area-ish. So very different than what you would expect to find up here. And but there are a lot of species like this, and this one actually has a different microbe in its stomach that can actually digest that meat and turn it into a weird like protein saliva that it can use to build its fort with, or its little hive. And they still do everything like regular bees. You know, you have your the hunter bees that go out and gather all this stuff, and then they bring it back to the worker bees, which are building your nest and feeding your queen and all that stuff. So all of that's still happening, but instead of going to the flowers, which maybe they don't have in their area, they're going to find raw or decaying meat, and then they're going to bring that back and feed that to their larvae. Wow, it's a weird world out there, but that is a really interesting, super crazy weird story. And as you can see, it looks like they have a stinger, but it's actually just his back leg. There is no stinger on these. So if you do fall into a swarm of these guys, don't die, because as soon as you do, they will start eating you through your eyes. So definitely don't get anywhere near these guys. Now let me circle back to the beginning here and talk about SpaceX again, because SpaceX and NASA, they teamed up to shoot this awesome rocket off into space here. And this guy is called DART. And DART is literally just like the movie, well, okay, kind of like the movie, I'm sorry, totally blanking all of a sudden here. I'm thinking Aerosmith, and that's not right. Oh, shoot. Anyway, it's been a long day. Bruce Willis is in it. It's a terrible movie, and it's not based on any reality or science. And this is kind of similar, because they're going to take this satellite and crash it right into an asteroid to try to change the trajectory of the asteroid and or its orbit around another asteroid. So that's what I was showing you here in this final one. And then DART actually breaks into two smaller satellites called the ICIA Cube. The ICIA Cube. And that cube is going to monitor the whole thing and kind of see what happens. Does the smaller Dimorphos change orbit or not? And does DART actually change anything at all, or does this all just continue as normal? Because this could be a huge breakthrough for just Earth defense. We've never actually tried to do anything like this, and this could actually really help us, especially if there's a really dangerous asteroid coming to take us out. This would allow us to, defend ourselves in some way by shooting out a satellite that can hit it at thousands of miles an hour and hopefully change its orbit for us and save us, or move it out the way a little bit, and then maybe it'll swing around another planet and fly off into the space or whatever. So that's kind of the goal here. And I think it is definitely a doable thing, and I have a feeling that between SpaceX and NASA, this is going to be an extremely successful mission. Now, they did launch this satellite yesterday, and I'll try to put that back up here as well. Let me see if I can rewind this video a little bit and show you that launch again, because it's pretty freaking cool. I think it was right here. I'll fast forward a little bit for it.
Defense test mission. Vehicles pitching downrange.
This is actually super cool. I mean, again, we've never done anything like this before. This is not like what we saw in the movies. There's no team of people going up there to blow up an asteroid or anything, or try to break it into two and miss Earth or nothing. Nothing like that is happening.
Stage 1
this
chamber
is all
pressure
happening way far away from Earth anyway. And this satellite
2+33 seconds. SpaceX launch engineers seeing a nominal conditions on Falcon 9 as we begin the trip to space carrying the DART spacecraft. M1D engines about to begin throttling down.
Until about 2022. So it's going to be
Power and telemetry nominal.
And nothing to worry about there. Again, this is just a test.
We're throttled down.
Just a test, guys. Kind of like proving a theory. We pretty much know it's going to work, but we really, really, really just want to be sure on this one. So we're going to double check. And that's what this is about. Now, the last topic that I'm going to talk about today, which was actually my second topic of the day, was the dino. They discovered a new dinosaur. Thanks to Andrew and a huge team of people down in Missouri in the United States, we have discovered an entirely new dinosaur. Oops. This is the Parasaurus missourianus. And wow, it's a tough one. It's 25 to 35 feet long, and this thing is it looks kind of like a velociraptor, but as you can tell, it did actually walk on its front legs a little bit, kind of like hopped along there, kind of kangaroo-y, but more of a bird. It actually had a beak, just like a bird, and feathers and everything. It didn't fly at all, as far as we can tell. But this is the first species of its kind ever, found in the United States anyway, especially in Missouri. And according to the researchers, they could easily find more. The original owner to the property thought there might be dinosaurs or something there, but didn't want any excavations done. So for years and years and years, everybody sat on this discovery, but nobody did anything about it. 80 years later, they finally were able to dig everything up and get it into the museum. And now you can actually go help them keep digging. They are going to keep digging out more and putting these dino bones in resin, like what you're seeing here in this photo. And they're going to put them in museums. Chicago's already lined up to get a few. Excuse me. There's obviously a few in Missouri as well that are lined up to grab them. And I'm excited to see what else they find. They definitely think there are more species down below. And I think so too. I think this could be really, really cool. And really exciting news. So thank you, Andrew, for finding that article for us. Check my source links below if you guys want to know more. It might pop up on your national news channels as well. So take a look there and see what else. Now, I also talked about your dreams and advertisements being put into your dreams. Now, MIT did some studies back in the day, just a couple years ago actually, that determined that they could kind of semi-hypnotize you and or convince you to think of certain things at night that might influence you to either go buy something during the day or use something during the day. And that's pretty freaking cool, honestly. But now advertisers are buying into this research and are using it to put advertisements in your head. Did you just go buy that turkey today for Thanksgiving tomorrow because you dreamt about it? Oh, no, I doubt it. I really, really doubt it. It's Thanksgiving. We're all going to go buy a turkey. Anyway, why even waste money putting dreams into your head when it's already going to happen? So how do they do this? Well, a company that you guys might already purchase from, known as Coors, decided, hey, why don't we try this? So during the Super Bowl last year, they asked a few participants to watch advertisements of Coors Light before they go to bed. And then when they do go to bed, they have to play like some ambient sound to listen to while they sleep. And the ambient sound just happened to be the same sounds that you found in the Coors Light advertisements. So you see the correlation there? Your brain takes the two, you just saw that image, and as it's storing these images and sounds and things into your brain, as you sleep, into your long-term memory, it's going to put this awesome advertisement there for you to see probably a couple of times. And I don't think this is actually going to happen. Again, I don't think people are going to start having crazy dreams and stuff. But this is definitely something that the FCC needs to look into, because there's nothing that stops any of these companies from actually getting into your head and doing these things. Now, if you don't know, this image below or next to me here, this one is straight out of the movie A Clockwork Orange. and where they actually do kind of try to brainwash people into not wanting to do terrible things to each other. And the way they did it was extremely inhumane. And this is just a brief little clip of how they did it. So I'm not even going to show anymore. I'll go back to this one here. But yeah, so definitely want to keep in mind, this is definitely something we want the government to prevent our companies from trying to get into our brains, especially in our sleep. So anyway, wow, what a day. We covered a lot of news, everybody. Now, I know we did have a hot sauce episode out this week, and it was supposed to come out Monday. We had a couple of scheduling glitches, and unfortunately, it came out on Tuesday. So check that out, especially if you're interested in how capsaicin has something to do with why your body thinks it's so hot. We explain all of that in the video, and Andrew takes some super hot sauce challenge and takes a bite of super hot wing with, I think, the bomb hot sauce, I think is what it was called. And so definitely check out that video for you guys. We should have some more coming out this coming week, and I have that Windows 11 random daily discovery video coming out pretty soon for you too. But again, I appreciate everybody and all the new subscribers this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. So sorry about the audio glitches at the beginning, everybody. I appreciate you all for sticking with me and having a great day. Definitely take it easy, everybody. Have a great one.